General Joseph Nunu Mensah shares how the judges were regarded as enemies of the revolution. Take a listen.
Chief of Defense Staff at the time, Brigadier General Joseph Nunu Mensah, lends credence to Kwabena Japon's narrative. He explains the murdered judges and the retired officer were deemed enemies of the revolution.
Between 79, when people were put in prison, some were killed, and 82, 81, 31, 81, 82. Some of these people went to court, made appeal, and they were
freed.
They were freed.
Some were even asked to be paid reparations.
That's right. This angered, I'm not part of it, I wasn't part of it, but this angered those who came back. Some of them angered them. That's what they call them, enemies of the revolution.
Oh, okay.
I'm not justifying it. I'm not explaining to you why that term was used.
Oh, okay.
Because they thought they are dealt with the revolutionary justice.
Revolutionary justice, that's what Brigadier General Nunu Mensah calls it. Now, Amartey Quaye is one of the main characters in this story. He claims that Captain Kojo Chikata, the then National Security Advisor, and Jerry John Rawlings were behind these killings. There was also a response by Captain Kojo Chikata himself as the National Reconciliation Commission. Take a listen.
A few days before Amartey Quaye's execution, a prayer meeting was held for him at the Nsawam prisons. According to Squadron Leader George Tego, in the course of the meeting, Quaye made a statement about his role in the whole sordid affair. Speaking in the Ga language, Quaye said,
Mifi Isha, civilian Jimmy, Flight Lieutenant John J. Rawlings, Kekujo Chikata, Kemifata.
I have done a wrongful act. I am a civilian. Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings and Kojo Chikata and I planned the operation. We planned to arrest the judges who had opposed the revolution. Captain Kojo Chikata was the mastermind for the operation. Kojo Chikata and Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings appointed me as a member of the Provisional National Defense Council government. As a result of whatever instructions they gave me, I am compelled to obey. I have done a wrongful act. They instructed me to supervise the operation because the boys were aggressive and indisciplined. They instructed me to ensure that everything went on smoothly according to plan. I have done a wrongful act. I, a civilian, selected a retired army officer, and Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings and Kojo Chikata selected the 3 judges. I have done a wrongful act. Captain Kojo Chikata organized the entire operation. He was a national security advisor. He was in charge of national security. I have done a wrongful act. God forgive me. I should not have done what I did. What I was ordered to do was wrongful, yet I carried out the instructions. I have sinned. I beg for forgiveness. I have sinned.
Hala, Jaji Fuete le. Noni akemi ya fele. Shi mifi. Mifi Isha. Minkpa fai. Mifi Isha. Ni wogbeje na ni wola.
This account is endorsed by the NRC as it insists that, without official backing, Amartey Quaye had neither the capacity nor the means to commit such a heinous crime. The observed behavior of Amartey Quaye at the prisons also confirmed that he knew that the operation was authorized by those who wielded power at the time.
Stop right there!
It's obvious an operational pass was given for a vehicle carrying at least 3 Superior Court judges, which meandered through almost 50 kilometers from their residence at Ridge, then picked up Major retired Sam Akwa at Jolu, and then used the motorway to Mbundase. Well, the head of security then, Captain Chikata, agrees the man that abducted the judges indeed has some form of clearance, even though he couldn't say who authorized it.
The operational pass is issued from the Operations Department of PNDC headquarters, and it is normally issued by the operations officer or his deputy, or the officer who will be on duty if there is an emergency. Those are the only people who can issue the operational pass.
Officer, you are referring to army officers, I suppose?
Oh, yeah, military officers.
Oh, I see.
The police also have their own system of issuing operational passes, and I believe that it will follow on the same lines. Yeah.
So I have in mind, this question relates to the vehicles that the convicted prisoners used in carrying the people that they murdered. And it came to our attention that their movement was during the curfew hours and that they had access to operational pass. So I'm wondering who might have issued this operational pass to the convicted prisoners for them to carry out this act.
The operational pass would have been issued by the operations officer in PNDC HQ.
Is it possible for us to identify a particular officer?
If you
so that we can question.
If you see the pass, you will see his signature on it. The officer must sign the pass.
So that was the confession by Amartey Quaye, the alleged confession by him, and a response by Captain Kojo Chikato. Of course, he later said that he was even framed by the SIB, the Special Investigations Board. Now, former Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, former president, was also accused by Amartey Quaye, and this was his testimony at the National Reconciliation Commission.
The commission has evidence before it given by Naval Commander Asasijima.
Yes.
And he states in his testimony before the commission, that you have in your custody an audio recording made by yourself.
Yes.
On the day of the execution of Mr. Joachim Amartey Quaye.
Yes.
And that you recorded this just before the execution, sometime in 1983.
Yes.
Your Excellency, is that correct?
Amartey Quaye did what I thought was most ignoble. I'd known Amartey Quaye as a very disciplined person, as a person who was not a liar, not a thief, a man who commanded a lot of respect, a very dedicated person. And for him to have been engaged in the misuse of soldiers, to do what he did when we came into office.
Sir, with respect, if I could draw you back.
Don't. I'm building it up.
You are building up?
Yes.
Okay.
For him to have been engaged in the misuse of good soldiers for what happened, and worst of all, to use the name of an innocent person, was most painful, not just for me, but for him as well, in terms of my image and impression of him. And for me, I thought it was an opportunity to give Quaye an opportunity to give Quaye the chance to cleanse, yes, his soul, his spirit before he meets his creator.
Okay.
Not only that, but I'm not going to have a situation where an innocent man is going to live under the cloud that he mentioned yesterday for 20 years. My wife, keys, etc., all these, atrocious fabrications. And for me, in fact, I could not even recollect that I had asked Commander Asasijima till I heard about it yesterday. I mean, there are lots of things I cannot recollect, but I can very well imagine that I must have done so when he said he was going with Reverend Damois.
Okay.
Yes. And
so
wait a minute, when it didn't work out, that's when I decided, no, I'm not going to let this opportunity slip. So I must have obviously gotten a tape myself and followed the convoy from wherever
to the point before he was executed. And I approached him as he was tied to the stakes, and I came close to Amadikwe. Don't let this opportunity slip to cleanse. I mean, we're not perfect. You've, what do you call it? You've personalized an issue, something that you should have risen above in terms of, trying to take the lives of people. We had political objectives. And it's hurt. It's hurting all of us. It's hurt you. It's hurt all of us. But please, I mean, before you meet your creator, let me have that ultimate truth. Let me have that beautiful truth. Restore some of my respect before you go. And I was so glad when he vindicated Captain Chikata.
And you recall what his words were, in essence at least?
Yeah, I mean, he pronounced the innocence of Captain Chikata and asked for his forgiveness, etc., And to be quite frank, to be quite honest, I think either a day or so after, or probably a day or so after, I must have invited some of the journalists and played the tape to them. And I believe, what's his name? Mr. Kojo Yanka, who was the editor. Is that his name? Kojo Yanka? He was the editor of the Graphic then. Is that his name?
Say, I don't quite recall, but
oh, come on, you should know.
You can check out.
Yes. Thank you.
We know that.
Thank you. He was the editor of the Graphic then. He gave very wide publicity to it. Quite frankly, that was not my intention then when I was playing it to them. I was hoping would find an appropriate occasion when to put this case across. So unfortunately, he went ahead. Everybody listened to it. He went ahead and published, what the tape recording had to say. And I remember the following day or so, I called him and I reproached him. I said, look, I mean, I didn't think you'd do this, because that was not the moment. Because sometimes if truths are not told in the appropriate context or the appropriate platform and at the appropriate time, people put question marks and doubts on it.
And that was Mr. Rawlings speaking as the National Reconciliation Commission, where he related how he was exonerated and the Captain Kojo Chikata retired was as well. So that's in a wrap some of the key elements of that documentary that showed yesterday. Now, yesterday, we sought to find answers to a question which had been left unanswered for 36 years. The question of who killed the judges. But in laying bare the facts surrounding that question, perhaps we've given ourselves a greater gift. Though technically, the question remains unanswered, we may have stumbled on the unfortunate reality that we continue to repeat the mistakes of the past. We may look at this story and call it one of the crimes that shook the nation, and it did, as though it were a thing of the past. And yet, yesterday, today, and most likely tomorrow, we have and continue to not murder in cold blood, but attack and kill the spirit of those who stand for truth and justice, not self-serving advocacy or fighting for personal interest, but for plain, unadulterated and sometimes unrewarding truth. Last year, for instance, a political vigilante group, Delta Force, attacked a Kumasi court to release persons standing trial. During the trial of Popular Party financier Alfred Woyome, the Attorney General's Department recommended, in a letter which is now public record, that members of that government are not called to give testimony, so government is not embarrassed, in so many words. Now, in both cases, the delivery of justice was threatened by what we can call political interest, like in 1982. So this morning, as we reflect on the facts pointing to who killed the judges, we need to answer the question, why were the judges killed? And how are we killing the pursuit of truth and justice today? Do we really advocate for truth or for interest? Would we still advocate if we had no interest in what we fought for? Helping us answer these questions is a political appointee, if I can call him that, who is a member of the judiciary, Mr. Sam Okudzeto. Mr. Okudzeto is a former Bar Association president, and he serves on the Council of State and also on the Judicial Council. Good morning, Mr. Okudzeto.
Good morning. I'm no longer on the Judicial Council.
Oh, so you were on the...
repeating this. People get yourself confused all the time. I am no longer on the Judicial Council.
Right.
I served on Judicial Council many years back.
Right. Thanks for that clarification. Also joining us in the conversation is Captain Retired Nkrabea Efadate, someone with a lot of experience in both sides of this conversation. Captain, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And in the studio with us is the man who started the conversation with his brave confrontation of a difficult story, Raymond Acquah. Raymond is the writer and producer of the documentary. Raymond.
Good morning, my brother.
Congratulations, first of all. It was great work.
Thank you. But it's a bigger team that put this together, right? From video editors to cameramen to the drivers, more importantly, and also the other editors.
The technical directors and a lot of people.
Yes.
Okay, let me begin. First of all, there are a couple of questions that came up from listeners while we were dealing with this. Raymond, did we get everybody who we had wanted to speak to in dealing with this documentary?
Okay, so essentially, yes, there were some specifically, let's say, former President Jerry John Rawlings. I mean, on several occasions, we had appointments. Sometimes we had to virtually sleep there. It became some other sessions. But, he would engage you in a conversation, not necessarily related to the subject matter. Consistently, he would do so. Then, at a point in time, he would say, he's tired. So the essential recording you wanted to do, they would not happen. Now, the key questions, what he always kept referring to. So, for these questions, he has actually, he's not answering them now. He's likely to put up a book soon. When he's done with writing his book, all of these questions will be answered in that particular book. So, those were the, areas that, of course.
For how long did you pursue this interview?
Job, and the more reason why it took almost 2 years was because you had to pursue the lives of former President Rawlings. You had to do it studiously, you had to do it patiently, you have to try very, very hard to get to that particular man. But you can still get to him, he will speak to you nicely, but not the recording can do, not on the substance of the matter. So that is where the slight difficulty was. The same probably with Captain Kojo Chikata too. The reference finally, and I virtually had to deploy all the resources available and try to get people to get to him through all the other means possible. It reached the point, I remember, lawyer Obed Asama, who was at the point in time his counsel too, during the engagement with the National Reconciliation Commission. He said, whatever you wanted to say is already in the NRC's report.
Go. We just played.
Yes. Go take it. The man is too old to be engaging in such acts.
Okay.
So what I needed to do was also a backup on that. So then we fell on one man who was very close to him, who dealt with him, who represented him on several occasions during his engagement throughout the time.
Right.
That was Chachu Chikata, who is a relation though. So he actually virtually give us what the man would have said in all of his forms. Yes. And so apart from this, I doubt if any
persons would have
important, relevant voice would have changed. And
anything.
Even for these people, in fact, there was record to suggest what they have said before.
Okay.
Especially on the substantive matters.
Okay.
But sometimes you also want to hear the reflections over the period, which was what was perhaps the problem in there. Yeah.
That deals with that question. We'll take these important messages. We'll come back and speak with our guests further on why we should have this discussion today. This is the Super Morning Show. Stay with us.
It's a new day. I want you to first think big, not small. Think of how great we can be when we work together. Together, we can ensure that our hard work will provide a better future. Together, we can provide a foundation for you and your business to succeed, regardless of its size. Together, we can create opportunities for all. Bank with us today and let's journey forward together. Forward together. Cowbank, forward together.
It's time to own a hotel-inspired apartment near Accra Mall and switch on your urban life with a cool price starting from 315,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, you heard me. Choose our market-leading studio, 1, 2, or 3-bedroom apartment from Oasis Park Condominium at Tetekwashi and enjoy urban resort life. For this and more, call Evelyn on 0204 343 011 or Kojo on 0204 343 008. This is another catered development by CPL Developers. CPL Developers, built for life.
The other day, as I was in my kitchen preparing my special jollof made with lily rice for my family, I heard a knock at the door. It was my mechanic. Instead of calling me to pick my car, he brought it himself. I said, "Cho." He said, "F-O." I said, "Take the car back. I will come and pick it myself." As I turned off the fire from under the lily jollof, there was another knock at the door. It was my neighbor. I said, neighbor. He said, "F-O, my dog has jumped your wall again, oh." I said, "Don't be silly. You don't have a dog." My wife and kids came home, and we saw that he enjoyed. Cho, it was my pastor. He said, "Bless you." I said, "Bless you too." He said, "Did he come to church on Saturday?" I said, "Acho, but why are you coming to tell me this on Wednesday?"
Having to fend off visitors at mealtimes because of Lele's tasty aromatic rice? Celebrate every mealtime by sharing with friends and family near or far. Lele, tasty food, happy family.
Acho. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Food and Drugs Authority.
Connecting music with 10 years of experience in wellness across Africa. BF Suma presents the BF Suma Ghana Connect Concert 2018 at the Fantasy Dome Trade Fest, Saturday 27th October at 8 p.m. sharp. Performing live, La Mem Gang, Olamide, Miss V, Tiwa Savage, Wendy Shea, Kitty, Dope Nation, Kwame Eugene, and one big surprise act. Standard ticket selling for 50 Ghana City, VIP tickets for 150 Ghana City, and VVIP for 200 Ghana City. Purchase at Star FM, Silverbed Accra Mall, Airport Shell, Bachona Total, and Empire Entertainment. Official media partner, Live FM, Star FM, City FM, YFM, TV3, GH1 TV, and Fiesta TV. Advantage Campus Digital Signage Network. Good Music, GeorgeBritain.com, Aftown Music, GhanaMusic.com, Daily Guide, and Fixed Console. Powered by Empire Entertainment and proudly brought to you by BF Suma, Brighter Life and Better Future. Super Morning Show.
16 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Dazi here in the studio with Sam Okujeto, Captain Retired in Krabie Fadate, and Raymond Aqua. We're talking about that documentary, Special Assignments documentary that we aired yesterday, Who Killed the Judges, but really what it means for us today. I'm going to come to my guests in a moment, but if you want to pursue a higher education abroad, especially in January 2019 or September 2019, you want to attend the UKAS Education Study World UKAS Study Abroad Fair on Tuesday, 9th October 2018. As next week, Tuesday. It's going to be at the Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, Gamal Abdul Nasser Avenue, Ridge, Accra. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can pre-register now for a fast-track entry at ukeas.com.gh/registration. And UKEAS is UKEAS. Or just call 0243 245 355 or 0508 976 Entry is free. Now, the Lababdi Beach Hotel, in partnership with Joy FM, brings you Oktoberfest 2018. Catch all the fun with German food and drinks live at the Lababdi Beach Hotel in this October. Date is this Friday and Saturday. Friday will be 5 p.m. till midnight. Saturday will be from 2 p.m. till midnight. Performing live is the amazing Schlutenflitzer Band from Germany. There'll be lots of fun in our Kiddies Corner for all the children. For inquiries and bookings, please call 0544 431 213 or 0540 123 691. It's Oktoberfest 2018. Let's celebrate. Let me come straight to my guests now. Mr. Okujeto, in the first place, these judges are remembered every year on the 30th of June, the anniversary of their death. It's called Martyrs' Day. In your view, what do they represent for the judiciary service and for justice delivery in general today?
The purpose of the Martyrs' Day was to remind judges of their role as judges, to appreciate that in the quest for justice, anything can happen, but yours is to be resolute and do what is right. That is the whole essence of it. But also it's a reminder to lawyers to appreciate that it's not judges. We are all part of the administration of justice. This is what we all have. And for that, we again has to be resolute to appreciate that it does not matter politics, party, completely irrelevant. Ours to be vessels, or sometimes as I tell people, I say, you are God's instrument for justice. That's what you are. Because he selected you, out of all the people in the world, he selected you to be a lawyer or a judge. That is an onerous responsibility. And you should never relegate from that, to appreciate that you are doing God's work, no matter what happens.
Right.
So this is what it is. But we also like to remind the public itself to say that this is history. This is something heinous, something evil that happened in our country. And we Ghanaians need to remind ourselves all the time to say that in the quest for justice, judges were collected from their homes, murdered, just because they were doing their judicial task and responsibility. And so never should it happen again. Never should it happen again.
Now, Captain Efadate, you are a lawyer yourself and a part of the justice delivery system. When you hear Mr. Okudzeto here speaking about how it's important to remind ourselves that a judge can die when he's just standing up for the truth, and so as a country, we must make sure it does not happen again. Do you agree with those sentiments, that it's important to remember them?
Of course I agree. Of course I agree. In fact, as a lawyer, I have come to accept the fact that the best thing that anybody can do for his country is to ensure that there is always rule of law. Always, always rule of law. If you have any problem agitating your mind, if you have any project you want to carry out, if you have any concern you want to address, follow the rules. Follow the rules. This reminds me, when I went to Japan in the year 1991 or so, at Narita Airport, they have written there boldly, enjoy yourself, but follow the rules. And so I think that my senior has put the nail on the head, you know.
Okay.
That we lawyers and judges, and in fact, every citizen of this country has a duty to ensure that we follow the rules and observe the law. And, you know, the tragedy in Ghana, I would say today, is that most of us, especially the young ones, don't know our history too well. They don't know exactly what went on. At times when I see some of the young men in their euphoria and in their anxiety and enthusiasm following a course that I think is a complete negation of our history, I just bow down my head in shame. You don't know what happened, and that's why you are doing what you are doing. And I think that this is the reason why I would say that seniors like Sam Okudzeto have a duty to write history books so that people will know what really happened.
Yeah.
What really happened. You know.
Now, let me come back to you, Mr. Okudzeto. When Raymond interviewed you in the documentary, you stated how the government at the time, the PNDC, influenced the public to sort of dislike and, to an extent, even hate judges and the judiciary in general. Do you think that in today's Ghana, any government has that power to influence people to distrust an institution, any institution at all, like the judiciary?
Let's just say we thank God that because we have a constitution, imperfect as it is, at least there is a freedom of speech, freedom to express views. And we have now a proliferation of radios, televisions, stations, newspapers, which makes it more difficult for one group of people to try to steer the people to that kind of freeze. I think that is just something we should be grateful to God for, because I'm aware of certain radio stations which, few years past, were being used to agitate and to ferment hatred. I mean, lies which are put across with such vehemence that you might, if you are not careful, believe that they are true. Because there is no counter institution that tells you that what that radio station is publishing is not true. So I think that's the only thing that I think we should be grateful to God for.
Okay. So that would mean then that, and Captain, I'm coming to you on this, that would mean then that the conditions that caused some of these atrocities some years back are not exactly existing now. Would it be safe to make that statement?
Oh, well, I am not too sure. I'm not too sure, because for me, I think that what is happening in Ghana today, like my senior said, we have plurality of radio stations, newspapers, and thank God we have a constitution which guarantees the right to say anything of your choice, anytime, anywhere, write as much as you can. And if you are not happy, you can go to court and challenge anything. And the courts are there to listen to you. So, in fact, for me, if anybody would say, or should say, or can say that the situation today looks like what it was in 1979 or 1981, I think that person will not be speaking the truth. He doesn't know what really happened.
Perhaps not to the extreme sense of causing death, but so Hujeto mentioned how even Martyrs Day of today is a reminder of how people stood for truth and justice, and they had to pay their lives, basically. Do you think that in today's Ghana, it's an easy thing to get up and stand for justice and truth in a work that you do, whether you're a lawyer or any other job that you do?
I should think so. Right now, the atmosphere, the environment is very positive. Unless somebody really wants to be vindictive or wants to pursue a personal agenda which is different from the national cohesion agenda, I think right now every High Court judge, or for that matter, every judge, has a wide latitude to make sure that he does justice and nothing else but justice without fear of favor. Even look at the constitutional guarantee of how to remove a superior court judge. I mean, right now, if you're a judge and you don't do the right thing, I will not sympathize with you if you have a problem at all. And thank God right now, the constitutional rule has been so deepened that we can trust Almighty God that Ghana is getting somewhere.
Right. Ghana is indeed getting somewhere. Mr. Okujeto, do you agree with this? I mean, in the earlier conversation I had before the three of you joined us, we had a former Ministry of State, a leading member of a political party, talking about how the hands of politicians are tied when they have to choose between things that may look like corruption and what may look like what they should do. Do you think that it's a walk in the park to stand for truth and justice today?
Well, yes, you see, there are many people who get allowed partisan politics, because I want to be careful about that, because sometimes people say, but you are doing politics, and I say, people are supposed to do politics all the time. You're from your sleeping to your waking up, even if you are asleep, there's still politics going on, because after all, your safety is at stake. But it is partisan. That's why the problem comes from. When you take a stand because it is your party, and therefore you think your party cannot do wrong, and therefore your party men who are doing something wrong, you won't point it out because they belong to your party. This is where the danger all of us are in. And sometimes I had to get so angry as to tell the party people and said, for God's sake, put your party aside and look at what I call the national interest. What is the right thing to do? Let us all agree upon that as to what is the right thing to do. Ghana is bigger than any of us. Oh, we are all transient. We come and we go. The country remains. Its stability is important. Its success is important. I always tell people that if you read your Bible carefully, you find out that they say at the time of Solomon's rule, gold was so plentiful that nobody wants silver. The cedar wood, and many people don't know what cedar wood, I say it grows in the highest mountains in Lebanon. It's an extremely expensive wood. It takes thousands of years to grow. They say it was so plentiful that nobody wanted acacia. That shows you that prosperity, when it comes, it inures to every citizen. We all enjoy it. And so when we are here and someone is doing something good, and then the other party says, in politics we are supposed to attack that person irrespective. And I say, no, you don't understand politics. That's not politics.
Okay.
That's not politics. You can disagree on the method, if you like. You understand? But if it is right, if it is just, we should pursue it. And I think the problem in this country is that we don't know history. And I don't even think that history is being taught or is even being written. So there is so much ignorance. And the ignorance is manifested in our conduct, in our behavior, in our utterances. Daily, you open the newspaper, you listen to the radio stations, and you can find people are talking absolute trash. And all this is, they cover it up with a gun. And now, of course, many of them are doctors. So you say doctor so and so and so. So it means that because of that. So I asked the question, I said, my friend, these are degrees that they go and buy. So why is it so important? Ask him what dissertation he wrote. What was the subject covered by that dissertation? So there is too much ignorance in the country.
So do you think this ignorance, as you referred to it, puts us in danger of repeating some of the errors of the years back?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In what way?
Well, you see, when a person stands on a platform and he makes utterances of things which are palpably false, and yet he puts it in that vehemence that people who are there will listen to it and believe it. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. That's why I say ignorance is a dangerous thing. In fact, the Bible is very clear on that. It says that for lack of knowledge, the people perish.
You're still listening to the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's nearly 9 a.m. My guests in the studio are Sam Okudzeto, member of the Council of State, former president of Ghana Bar Association, Captain Nkrabea Effa-Dartey. He is a private legal practitioner, someone who has seen these times very well. And Raymond Dakwa, writer and producer of our special assignment documentary on crimes that shook the nation, Who Killed the Judges. We are going for the Joy Business Minutes now, and we'll take some important messages. When we come back, we'll go to that issue that Mr. Okudzeto has raised. He believes that our ignorance can put us in danger of repeating these mistakes. We'll try and look a bit more at this and see which areas we could and how we can guard against it beyond just knowing what went wrong yesterday. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show.
Hello, it's midweek. Welcome to the Joy Business Minute. Daryl and Charles with the latest. The Association of Savings and Loans Companies has petitioned the Bank of Ghana over locked up funds at Consolidated Bank. According to the association, the funds would help deal with the distressed position of its members, which has been worsened by panic withdrawals. The Public Procurement Authority has warned that about 10 state institutions and their heads may likely be prosecuted by the Attorney General if found culpable of breaching the public procurement laws. This is because contracts awarded by these institutions are currently being appraised and audited by the authority. ISA expects the city to depreciate far more cumulatively this year than it did in 2017. This is based on both internal and external factors. And Hilton Worldwide Holding is planning to double up the number of hotels in Africa in the next 5 years. The deal will majorly see Hilton sign major deals with existing hotels for conversion into its brand. And that's your update for now. Catch us again at 3:06.
Airtel Tigo is undergoing a nationwide network upgrade so that we can provide you with wider coverage, faster internet, and super clear calls. This network upgrade is going to be a smooth one. However, in situations where you have a network challenge, such as no service or emergency, kindly visit any Airtel Tigo shop or SIM upgrade center nationwide to upgrade your SIM for free. You can also call Airtel Tigo on 100 or 0277 551 000 or 0260 000 100 for more information as we fully round up on our network upgrade. This upgrade will not affect your Airtel Tigo Money account, airtime, or phone contacts. It's what we've all been waiting for as we give you a bigger, better, stronger network that gives you the most. Airtel Tigo.
Apex Advertising presents a must-see movie, Bad Luck Joe. All because of Patapa
must prevent her from coming even 2 inches near your father's body. I will never allow this old hag claim my property.
Bad Luck Joe is hilarious.
There's a dead body working somewhere here. Natural slap.
Bad Luck Joe will keep you at the edge of your seats.
Anna, I'll change. Anything that you want me to do, I'll do.
Chris Attle, Sika Osei, Michelle Attle, and introducing Adoma. Bad Luck Joe, showing at the Silverbird Cinemas at the Accra Mall and West Hills Mall from 5th October 2018 at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. daily. Rate 30 Ghana cedis.
Well, I never feel great.
Grab your complete bathroom solutions from Jacqua with 10 years unmatched warranty. Jacqua offers world-class showers, faucets, sanitary ware, and all your bathroom accessories. Visit X Interior Design Showrooms, Main Spintex Road and Kojo Thompson Road, and get your Jacqua fittings now. Or call 055-250-9566 or 023-684-5512. Jacqua, complete bathroom solutions.
Perhaps you're here for the amazing food or the shopping. Or perhaps you're here for the business opportunities that can come your way. Either way, it's a great time to travel. Now enjoy special fares in Emirates Economy and Business to the Far East. Book by 8th October 2018 for travel until 31st March 2019. Visit emirates.com/gh. Conditions apply. Fly Emirates for a world of good times.
Getting extra sports channels for a whole week will feel like when your team scores a goal in the final against your friend's team.
Yeah, take that. Did you see that?
Pay your DSTV on time and get a 7-day sports upgrade at no additional cost. That means Access and family customers get Compact Sports channels, while Compact and Compact Plus customers get premium sports channels. Now that's a reason to celebrate. DSTV thanks. T's and C's apply.
Labadi Beach Hotel in partnership with Joy FM brings you Oktoberfest 2018. Catch all the fun with German food and drinks live at the Labadi Beach Hotel this October. It's Friday, 5th October from 5 p.m. till midnight and Saturday, 6th October from 2 p.m. till midnight. Performing live is the amazing Schlutz and Flitzer band from Germany. There will be lots of fun for the kids too. For inquiries and bookings, please call 0544 431213 or 0540 123691. It's Oktoberfest 2018. Come, let's celebrate!
Kleinhäuschen, Kleinhäuschen, wir versaufen uns am Oma, ihr Kleinhäuschen.
It's your day off and you end up looking after the baby while your wife goes off to work. You realize you have no idea how to change a diaper. So you video call your wife.
Hello, darling.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Kojo, is everything all right?
Everything is not all right. I'm not seeing Topo. How do I change a baby's diaper, please?
Kojo. Okay, first, put the diaper.
The video call freezes. While you wait for the internet to catch up, the baby sprouts a fountain and wets the diaper. As you are getting a new one, your wife comes back online.
Kojo, no.
But I had to go and get a new diaper. What must I do next? I beg, quick.
Open the front of the diaper. It's the side that has...
Wow, look. The video freezes again. Abba.
By now, you know where the conversation is going. There's no buffering in real life, so why accept it from your internet connection? Get connected and experience ultra-fast internet to your home, powered by MTN Fiber Broadband. From the Internet Masters.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Super Morning Show.
Joy 99.7 FM.
6 minutes past 9 on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. My guests in the studio are Sam Okujeto, member of the Council of State, former president of the Ghana Bar Association, Captain retired Nkrabea Ifadate, who describes himself as a historian who has been following copiously some of these issues. Raymond Akwa is also here, the man behind the documentary Who Killed the Judges. We are looking at what happened 36 years old and what it means for us today. 36 years ago, and what it means for us today in 2018. Do people who stand for truth and justice face a sort of danger, not for their lives, but for what they stand for? I'm still trying to answer those questions today. Your comments are welcome on 0244 340 437. But HR Focus magazine is proud to present the HR Focus Conference 2018, a platform that brings HR professionals together to discuss and offer solutions to topical issues affecting the world of work. Join other HR practitioners as they discuss the theme Enhancing Employee Experience. Date is 5th October 2018. Venue Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences. Time 8 a.m. prompt. To attend the HR Focus Conference, subscribe to the HR Focus magazine for 50 Ghana cedis and register at hrfocusconference.com. To become an exhibitor, call 0249 188 155. Now, data doesn't deserve to have expiry dates like food and drinks, which can get spoiled. So say goodbye to all data bundles that expire and use the new Airtel Tigo Big Time Data Bundles, which have no expiry. And no expiry means you get more time to use your data how you like, when you like. Simply buy any Airtel Tigo scratch card, dial *126* the scratch card pin hash, and enjoy more data than anywhere else on the network that gives you the most. Airtel Tigo. I'm going to come back to the studio quickly. Before I come to you, Uncle Sam and Captain, on your views on some specific portions of this documentary, let me come to Raymond for this quick comment. In your view, Ray, in putting together this documentary, what surprised you the most?
The rather varied and contradictory statements over the period. And let me be very clear. I think this matter could have been put to rest in 1982. But of course, I may be naive of the political environment then, because there were major loopholes in virtually all the engagements that have happened up to this time. Right from the SIB's report on explored issues, also through to the public tribunal's work on explored issues, right through to the National Reconciliation Commission's work. And that is what I sought to project out there. That how is it possible that we spend quality time seeking, among other things, to put this to rest, and yet we miss important questions? It's as if we do window dressing with how we wanted to deal with this matter right from the beginning. And that's even from my uncritical eye from the beginning. And those are the parts that got me really, this question.
Your mind.
See, and what I've done, I've actually written down 60 different questions of loopholes in virtually all of our work.
All of our accounts.
Yes, up until this particular time. And what I intend doing with that going forward, we'll be making all the videos later on, is seeking, among other things, to say, if we ask this question and got to the bottom of this single matter, we wouldn't be talking about this matter consistently. In fact, we would have moved to the point where we are saying that every individual in this country ought to respect institutions of the state, and there should be a deliberate attempt all the time to protect them, to make sure that we don't go where we were some time ago.
Now, Captain, the parts in which you spoke in this documentary really speaks to what Raymond is saying, because you, for instance, suggested that if Captain Kojo Chikata had been tried by the Special Investigation Body at the time, the SIB, some of these controversies, and he had been purged, some of these controversies would not have lingered till today. In the first place, why do you think that at the time some of these questions were not answered?
Well, you see, me, I'm a lawyer. I go to court. And recently I did a court case where a police officer committed murder, and he was tried and acquitted and discharged. In fact, I did that case in Kumasi. Now, so right now as I speak, if you pick that Ghana Law Reports coverage on that case, you get everything that happened. In this case of who killed the judges, when the incident occurred or when the situation happened, we have Special Investigations Board set up by the PNDC. And the chairman of SIB was a retired Chief Justice, Azukrab. He wrote a report and made a recommendation. Now, I would have thought that the government of the day would have accepted the report and implemented to the letter. But the government of the day issued a white paper and exonerated one of the persons recommended by SIB for arrest and trial. So the prosecution carried on with those others, convicted them, executed them. But many, many years later, people still thought there is some unfinished business on this matter. And National Reconciliation Commission, as it were, reopened the subject, where even Captain Kojo Chikata went there to talk. And you just a few moments ago played the voice of Jerry Rawlings when he interviewed Amatekwe at the last point. Why should Jerry go and interview Amatekwe if this matter had been closed? Is it because Jerry was not clear in his mind as to whether or not Captain Chikata was guilty or had some influence in the matter? So, me as a historian, and then speaking purely as a lawyer, I would have thought that, look, this thing has happened. Your name is being mentioned. At that material moment, you were the capo of the security apparatus in Ghana, and you very influential in government. Why don't you submit yourself to trial, get yourself acquitted and discharged, and the matter rests? If anybody is inconsistent or unhappy with the judgment, you can appeal. If you don't appeal, we lawyers will say that, my lord, there is no appeal for this subject, which means that it's accepted for all time. And I would have thought that would have rested all these current consistently recurring, who killed the judges. I think that if Raymond wants to find out who killed the judges, go and pick the SIB report. If you pick the SIB report and you read it, then what happens? They say there is a white paper by government. White paper?
But Captain Chikata says he was framed by this SIB in the first place.
To be fair, he was not the only person who was actually not put before court. Now, again,
there were 5.
G.K. Akins said later on that was his opinion as Attorney General. He had an opinion on who to put before court based on the evidence before him. So, Mama Nshowo, Kou, and 5 others, 5 of them were not put before court. This is because G.K. believes there was not enough evidence. In fact, to what you're saying, of course, he became a justice then. Justice Akins was clear in his mind that if he put him before court and he got exonerated, later on, what will be the point? When there is enough evidence to put him before court again, what will be the point? Because he believed there was no evidence then, wait till people gather evidence at any point in time, then they can put the man before court and deal with him the way they ought to deal with him.
So this is where the controversies begin. And you find persons saying they were framed, and you find persons saying that justice was carried out the way it was supposed to. Even the mere fact that a people's tribunal was chosen over a regular court system raised questions. Mr. Okujetu, after watching this documentary and getting this sort of bird's eye view of everything that was going on, what are your views?
Well, you see, there was missing links from all the discourse that is going on. Because from what you showed, we heard Amatekwe making a confessional in the prison. And the confessional, the accusation was not against Kojo Chikata alone. He was talking about Jerry Rawlings and Kojo Chikata, but all along, as everybody was just talking about Kojo Chikata.
That's true.
Which is missing the point completely. So why did he go and talk to Amatekwe at the time? It was not to exonerate Kojo Chikata. I think it was to exonerate himself. And I think that is a missing link that everybody else is jumping at without appreciating the magnitude of what Amatekwe has said in the cells. Indeed, it's being said that they went to pray for him at Sawam prison. Actually, it's not true. Amatekwe was prayed for at Osherford prison. I was inside. I was an inmate at Osherford. We were upstairs when they brought them to Osherford that night and prayed for them. It was from there that they took them to the execution ground, because I think the history is being distorted. I said I was there. I was upstairs when we heard the rumbling. We came to the window and we saw what went on over there. So let's get the picture clear. So I think these are the missing links of the whole issue. Now, something else that maybe some of you should know. You know, 82, few months after the revolution, there were a lot of killings going on, and that was part of the list
that you showed during the documentary.
Exactly, the documentary. Now, I was so disturbed that I called Kojo Chikata, and I told him that I wanted to see him urgently. He promised that he would come to my house. That actually, I sat down there, waited until about almost 1 o'clock in the morning before he showed up. Then I told him, I said, Kojo, I'm worried what's going on in the country. He said, well, all these killings everywhere. Can't you just stop them? I said, you are the older man among them dead. They'll blame you tomorrow for what's going on. And he says, you know, the thing is frightening. He says, these boys have all had access to arms and ammunition. They've raided all the armory. So they are carrying guns and lots of ammunition. Nobody would dare to say, bring it back, because they'll kill you. So his prayer was that the way they've been shooting the gun in the air and the rest of them, they may exhaust the ammunitions. And then thereafter, it will be easy to handle. I am telling you a fact which is not in your history book. That then gave me the clue to some of the happenings, to say that there was lawlessness. In fact, on the document you see my emphasis to say that there was lawlessness. Things were let loose. Because all the killings that I have enumerated, I cannot say it was Jerry Rawlings who ordered those people to be killed. No.
What do you think brought that period to an end?
It brought to an end when, in the end, as I said, the ammunitions were exhausted. The boys have no longer any access to any ammunition to carry with them, because when they carry the gun, they come to your house, they collect your property and your goods, they see you in the market, they say you are selling about control price, they collect all your food and all the money that is in you, they go to the shops, threaten the Syrians and the Lebanese, and then they take their things. This is what happened. It was complete lawlessness that broke loose. And this is why I'm saying that those who were involved in the revolution should bear blame for what had gone wrong. I'm not saying they should go and kill them, but I'm just saying that they must be honest enough to accept blame for the lawlessness that broke loose. And that is the cause of all these killings that went on.
Is it curious to you, Mr. Kojo, that a tape which exonerated Mr. Rawlings and Mr. Chikata was not preserved? Because we know that tape could not be produced when Mr. Rawlings appeared before the NRC.
Yeah, that tape would have been a fantastic evidence of actually, because we call that dying declaration. I think the captain will know that. We call it dying declaration. That if somebody says something at the time he's about to die, we take that as authentic, even if it's not corroborated by anybody else. That would have been actually a very useful evidence so far as this issue is concerned. So the question is that, where is the tape? Where does not President Rawlings produce that tape in order to be able to authenticate this issue that we are all talking about? Because we heard that Kojo Yankah, when he actually reported the thing, he was removed from office. Why? Because if you call the press to play a tape to them, that's meant to be public knowledge. Is that not correct? So why was he removed? For reporting something which was meant to be public knowledge. There is a lot of puzzle involved in all this.
What do you think are the contents of the tape?
I don't know. I mean, I have no way of knowing.
I mean, what do you think?
No, that's nothing I can think. I think what Kojo Yanka wrote. Because I have no access to the informations. I cannot even conjure what is in there.
Captain, what do you think?
For me, this is what makes the subject of who killed the judges an unfinished business. And this will I can assure you what Raymond did yesterday is not the end of the matter. Because now the question is, where is the tape? What did Amatekwe really say sincerely at the sticks just before he was killed? Now,
could it be something else other than what we were told?
Well, and me, I was then a soldier, but the publication that Senior is mentioning, I didn't see it. I was in Burma.
The Daily Graphic publication.
That particular, unless maybe we go to the archives and pick that particular publication and see it, you know. But you see, so then I go back to my point that when a major issue like this happens, for purposes of tomorrow, it is better to clear yourself now, so that tomorrow everybody can look at what happened, pick the records, read, and make up their minds. But now, the question remains unanswered. Who killed the judges?
22 minutes past 9 on the Super Morning Show in Joy 99.7 FM. I'll take this short batch of commercials, and when we come back, we'll allow you to call in and also comment on the matter. 0302-216-541 and 0244-340-437. Tell us what your thoughts are, particularly what lessons you think we can learn from this moment in our history. Stay with us.
Good day, my one and only human resource manager.
Good day, Abner.
It just occurred to me, now that our colleague is no more, what's going to happen to his wife and children?
Oh, that one. The company has the unique Glyco Group comprehensive insurance cover for staff. And the good news is that Glyco Life has already paid a claim for our late colleague, so his family will be well taken care of financially.
Wow, this is so relieving to hear.
Yes, the Glyco Group comprehensive plan provides a 24-hour adequate group life cover for employees or members of associations. Should any employee be injured in an accident, suffer disability, terminal diseases like heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, or even death, Glyco Group comprehensive plan will pay substantial benefits to them or their beneficiaries. Moreover, the plan also takes care of our company's legal liability under the Workmen's Compensation Act. Abner, close your mouth.
Amazing. Keep up the good work.
So, my fellow corporate human resource managers and executives, call Glyco Life on 020-422-113 or 050-125-6336. Email to customer services at glycogroup.com or grouplife@glycolife.com to have your employees covered under the Glyco Group Comprehensive Plan.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the problems people have with their health is as a result of the way they sit. In other words, your chair can kill you. Here's Dr. Marcus Mann of the Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
What you have to remember is that the spine is the lifeline to your body, and posture is the window to that spine. Now, posture is affected by your daily activities and habits like sitting. That's why at the Chiropractic and Wellness Centers, we recommend what I believe to be the best chairs available for preventing not only subluxations, but also other health problems that you may not be aware of. And that's Rabami and Mobilex chairs. Unfortunately, on a daily basis, I have to correct the effects of this poor sitting habit in our businessmen and businesswomen. Always remember, optimal spine equals optimum health.
So, for the sake of your health, buy Rabami or Mobilex chairs from Afrodan. We're on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade. Telephone 663-085.
Batimat has worked for over 30 years, making sure your safety is guaranteed by choosing the best suppliers. We only stock quality and original electrical products from our official importers, Ingilec and Legrand. So for your cables, light bulbs, breakers, and all electrical products, rely on us, and we will never let you down. Batimat, everything for construction, from foundation to finishing.
are you doing, my brother?
I'm having problems as an architect getting quality security products on the market. Asa Abloy is your one-stop shop for your needs. They have strong padlocks with double locking systems. They also have security doors, hydraulic door closers, hinges, and mechanical locks, pull handles for glass, wooden, and aluminium doors. Also in stock are the Yale Smart Home Alarm System. They have access control for offices, residents and schools, hotel electronic locks, and safes. You can find Asa Abloy in Accra, adjacent MTN office on the 11th lane, Osu, Takrade, Kumasi, Tamale. You can reach Asa Abloy on 0302-778-029 or 050-133-9085 for further details.
Every champ tries for the knockout. That's what they train for. Sweat for. Always looking for that one opening that wins the fight. Today, there's a new kid on the block. They call him the Beast, and he's done the incredible. He's unbeaten. Now, you too can do the incredible with Yakata. For as little as 1 Ghana CD recharge, you get free unlimited glow-to-glow calls, free 250 megabytes data, free calls to other networks. Join the Glow family with Yakata. Buy a Glow line or dial *455# if you are an existing subscriber.
The Grandmasters of Data. Glow Ghana.
Her name is Faye. The first time we met, I knew she was way ahead of her time. She gets me, you know. She watches my back and even covers my blind spots with her blind spot collision warning system. We're safe. No strings attached with her wireless device charging, and that is very convenient. My eyes are always on the road when we ride because Faye has heads-up display. And boy, does she run smooth. I feel like she was made specially for me. Get a taste of the future. The all-new 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now available at Auto Plaza Limited, the home of Hyundai. Call us now on 0240-065-030 or visit our showroom at Auto Plaza, Nahia House on the Kanishi Odoko Road, next to Fisherman's House building at the Dansoman Hansonic traffic light. Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities.
Labadi Beach Hotel in partnership with Joy FM brings you Oktoberfest 2018. Catch all the fun with German food and drinks live at the Labadi Beach Hotel this October. It's Friday, 5th October from 5 p.m. till midnight and Saturday, 6th October from 2 p.m. till midnight. Performing live is the amazing Schlutzen Flitzer Band from Germany. There will be lots of fun for the kids too. For inquiries and bookings, please call 0544-431213 or 0540-123691. It's Oktoberfest 2018. Come, let's celebrate!
Airtel Tigo spoiled them big time. Sir, some new big time bundles view.
The only bundles I want hear about are bundles of cash.
So what about a bundle that gives you the most data on your 1, 2, and 5 Ghana Cedi bundles than anywhere else, and also gives you a whole 1.5 gig for only 10 Ghana Cedi?
Please, no network will give you that much data at that price.
Sir, well, Airtel Tigo does, and you even get a big 2 gig for the same 10 Ghana Cedis when you bundle directly from an Airtel Tigo scratch card or with Airtel Tigo Money. Airtel Tigo's new big time bundles do not expire. You can browse, sir. No more daily, weekly, or monthly bundles.
Hey, bad. How do I subscribe?
Dial *111#, select big time bundles and browse, sir. Whether you're a new subscriber or an old subscriber, T's and C's apply. Get big time data from the network that gives you the most. Airtel Tigo.
Thousands of students can't further their studies because of their financial background. At Absa Group, we invested over $24 million and supported over 3,600 students with scholarships, provided over 1,200 students workplace experience, and prepared over 215,000 students for work via our ready-to-work online platform. Because when we educate our youth, we unleash the possibilities of a nation. Absa Group, proudly serving Ghana as Barclays. For more, visit absa.africa. This message is brought to you by Absa Group Limited.
Ghana has always suffered from internet disruptions. You've experienced it, and here is the unfortunate truth.
unreliable internet could cost Ghanaians and their businesses up to $6.3 million every day. Fortunately, here is another truth. Yaklik, Africa's #1 internet service, connects via satellite, giving your business reliable internet connectivity every day. And it's now available in Ghana. Yaklik, let's unlock your potential. Visit yaklik.com to know more. Information source, Sipiza.
Super Morning Show.
Joy 99.7 FM.
28 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Dazi. I'm here in the studio with Sam Okujeto, former president of the Bar Association. He's also a member of the Council of State. I'm also here with Captain Retired Krabia Ifadate. He is a former soldier, and Captain, you were just telling us that you were at Burma camp around the time that these things happened.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's not just a student of history; he's lived through history, hasn't he? We'll be taking a number of your messages and then we'll be wrapping up with our guests. But Kingdom Boxer Stationery has discounted all school materials by 10% this academic year 2018. You can call ahead of time to book an appointment to any of their branches on 0501 40 10 50 or 0302 762 101 or go on kingdomgh.com to access some of these discounts. And text messages are brought to you by Afrodan. Your back must last you a lifetime. Glyco Travel Insurance Policy, we cushion you for life. Let's take some of these messages now. And you don't add your name to this one. You say, I personally know Amatekwe and Corporal Singer. As for Singer, he was a close friend and a colleague and a mate. I know him very well. By then, I was about completing my 4-year technical education in Accra. So my son Dan, what I would say is honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the policy if our dear country, honesty is a policy if our dear country pursues, it will be best for it. Thanks. Ebenezer and Aveime just wants to say he's enjoying the conversation here. Humphrey in London says, watching the documentary last night, it brought a disclosure of the matter. It was as clear as broad daylight. I know who killed the judges, but you don't say who you think did. Congratulations to Joy FM. And especially to Raymond Aqua for the documentary on who killed the judges. As I watched, I realized that most of the content was already in the public domain. The question of who killed the judges was not answered. You believe so? Now the point here, like Stephen Ukanishi sent this one. The point here, as we raised before that, was to lay the facts bare, so listeners themselves can make their general conclusion. But let me come to my guests in studio, our guests in studio, for their final comments. Now, Captain, when Uncle Sam mentions how, for instance, at the time, there was so much lawlessness in the country and there was so much guns in the system, from where you were as a soldier, would you say that is what happened? How was the mood like in the country generally at the time?
In fact, it will not be fair for me to give an account of the mood in the country at the time because I was then closeted within the environment of the military. And I was waking up at Burma camp, Arakan barracks, going to work at 37 area, the National Investigations Committee, and I was always in the company of soldiers.
Okay.
And for me, the military was and remains a disciplined institution. I would rather agree with Senior only because the political rhetoric of Rawlings and his PDC, WDC matters raised some kind of vigilantes, in inverted commas, across the country, and they were roaming about creating that lawlessness kind of situation, making the police almost ineffective. And for me, the recipe or the solution or the answer is that we must ensure rule of law.
Okay.
Soldiers should remain in barracks and do soldier duty. Police should do their work maintaining law and order. And every Ghanaian citizen, if you have a problem, go to court.
You mentioned how the military has always been an institution that stands as a disciplined one, and
Yes.
you're closeted within the military.
Yes.
Would you say that among the soldiers did not agree with the cleansing exercise that was ongoing across the country?
Well, even if they did not agree, I did not see it happening, because I was always in the military circles, and we were running our soldiers as we ought to do, and we were having military debates, and for me, military discipline was ongoing. I was an officer, and my soldiers were respecting me and obeying my orders and carrying them out. But what was inside the country happening at Makola and other places, I can't vouch for that.
So these are not even things that came to your notice as a soldier?
I wouldn't say so. Did not come to my notice.
Oh, well, anyway. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that. Let me take final comments around the table, and then we move on. Aung Sam, your final comments.
Well, I think I can empathize with Captain, but I was outside, so I knew what has been going on. Indeed, I can tell you that my own experience on the 31st of December was that the following day we were on our way to some funeral, and at Bo Junction, the soldiers stopped us. I was in a brand new car. They came and sat in the car with a gun and took us to Michel Camp. And at Michel Camp, I saw that the regional minister for Volta region was coming. They took him and laid him down on the ground there. The regional minister for Greater Accra was on his way to Adan. They stopped him and brought him there and ordered. Then, the surprising part, they brought soldiers who were officers. And the other ranks asked them to lie down on the ground. Ordered them. That shows what I am trying to emphasize, that there was absolute lawlessness in the country. That officers have no power. The other ranks were the one in command, because this was the other ranks' coup d'etat against their senior officers. They were no longer obeying senior officers. Those of you who were in Burma camp maybe, but I can tell you outside, there was no such thing at all. There was absolute lawlessness. They have gone. In fact, I remember telling someone that the officer carries a pistol. The other rank carries the big gun. Now, which one do you obey? The pistol or the big gun? And that the big gun was the one ruling at the time. And so this was actually what happened. And I plead actually with President Rawlings that he himself need to apologize to this country for the mess that happened. Maybe he did not envisage that that was going to happen, but that is what happened.
Right. So, Mr. Ifad, Captain Ifad, I say your final comments as well on this matter before we wrap up.
Oh, my final comment is to appeal to all Ghanaians to respect the rule of law to the best of our ability, and pray that the rule of law continues. We should preserve the rule of law.
Thank you very much, Captain Retired Nkrabea Ifad Sam Okujeto, for enriching our morning this morning. It's 20 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Boy, do I have something to tell you. Samuel Atamensa, formerly of the Coastal Development Authority and City FM, will join us on the Super Morning Show. Is he rejoining the multimedia group? Stay tuned in for more.
Bibiara wa Malcolm.